The heaviest torment of Judgment Day is when Allah, whose mercy even gives hope to Satan, turns away from a person. Witnessing the downpour of Allah's mercy while being excluded from His gaze will be devastating. It's easy to talk about this now, but experiencing it on the Day of Judgment, when eternal destiny is decided, will be extremely painful. According to hadiths, Allah will not look at three groups of people: those who fought against His messengers, those who falsely claimed the status of His messengers, and those who believed in the faith of the first two groups. We understand that the first two groups deserve hell, but what about the third? They neither raised arms against Allah's messenger nor claimed to be messengers themselves. They merely thought that those who committed these acts might not have been so bad. They attempted to justify or excuse them, even slightly, believing these people had some redeeming human qualities. This thought alone is enough to make a person stand alongside Allah's enemies on the Day of Judgment. Loving the friends of Allah is a profound and fascinating subject. When a person loves someone who embodies divine values, they are in essence loving those values as well. This love helps them internalize these values easily and become like the prophets. That is why Allah describes His prophet as a mercy. "We have not sent you except as a mercy to the worlds." Surah Al-Anbiya, verse 107. Love is the most powerful driving force. It propels a person towards their goals swiftly and easily. Love brings warmth and vibrancy to life. It makes the struggle against the nafs sweeter. For instance, when a young man falls in love with a girl, he willingly sacrifices for her. He may lose sleep at night, constantly think of her, and take pleasure in these thoughts. He eagerly wants to do something for her every morning, happily enduring hardships for her sake. He always hopes for a request or desire from her so he can fulfill it. The life of a lover turns into spring, fills with joy. The same happens with one who loves Allah's messenger and Allah Himself. Islam is a religion of love. When love enters the heart, practicing the religion becomes as effortless as drinking water. A person who feels this love will recognize the vileness of Allah's enemies and hates them. They will understand that Allah's enemies suppress the voice of their hearts and wage a merciless war against their own nature, eventually turning into enemies of humanity. In some parts of the world, innocent civilians are killed, and such acts are justified as being in the name of Allah or state interests. But why do they kill with special cruelty? Why are bodies desecrated after death? Clearly, they are not fighting for truth. Their inhumanity manifests itself whenever given the chance. Allah does not easily condemn His servant to hell, for He did not create them for hellfire. Imagine how far someone must have strayed against their own soul to deserve hell. A person must believe in someone like themselves, obey someone like themselves, and accept the superiority of someone like themselves to shatter the idol of arrogance in their heart. Allah conveys His message through chosen individuals so that others may elevate themselves more easily. Obedience to the prophets is not blind fanaticism. First, a person intellectually comprehends the status of Allah's messenger through evidence and reason. Once the mind affirms it, the person surrenders with their entire being and falls in love with the messenger. The hadiths say, "Subdue your nafs by following someone who is superior to you and rules against your desires." Allah doesn't test us only by commanding obedience to His messengers. Even in our daily lives, He commands obedience to others. He forbids even saying off to parents, as obedience to them involves a struggle against the nafs. At the same time, Allah places love for parents in a child's heart to make obedience more pleasant. Today, in some countries, children's rights are taken to such extremes that parents cannot even correct their children. Women are commanded to obey their husbands because this involves a struggle against their nafs. At the same time, He instills in women a desire for a strong man so that obedience brings pleasure. But today, gender equality has been exaggerated to the point where the roles of men and women have changed, resulting in disrupted family dynamics, unhappiness, increased psychological issues, moral decline, a lack of love, and demographic crises. Then migration problems, economic problems, intercultural dialogue problems, etc. come to the agenda. People are taught, don't obey anyone, don't struggle with your naffs, live however you want. This is the logic of Satan. He refused to obey Adam, desiring to achieve spiritual perfection on his own terms, ended up ruining his own fate. So, whom should we obey? Among the countless paths, which one should we choose? More on this in the next episode.